Joshua Williamson and Jim Cheung explore a world without the Justice League as Clayface attacks the Hall of Justice in a bid to acquire some of the League's most powerful weapons, with Wally West the only hero standing in his way. Joshua Williamson provides a small teaser prelude for the Dark Crisis event series with a free comic book day issue that focuses on Wally West's Flash and the idea of the Justice League, and how over the decades there have been many teams, many rosters, many heroes that make up the team, but how the one thing that is carried on throughout the team is how they can work together and inspire hope and show that people with power can make a difference in the world. I enjoyed Wally getting the center stage, being that he is a legacy character and he's had to step up as Flash multiple times throughout the decades, referencing such times like post-Crisis of Infinite Earths where he joined the League for the first time and the worries he had when joining the League. His message to the kids about it not being if and when a new League forms, but who will form the League is great, as it follows a grand tradition of fans eager to see who's going to be on the new Justice League whenever a new issue is announced and a new writing team is announced. The only difference here is, much like Joshua Williamson's whole build up to this event, it's getting slightly a bit meta when it comes to events and actually making that the event, which I think is really cool, and that making it an actual plot point, and one that looks like it'll be a major plot point of Dark Crisis outside of the whole Great Darkness looming over Earth plot. Jim Cheung returns to the Justice League with a beautifully detailed looking issue that captures some of the big events within the League's history, but one that also pays homage to the previous artists like the late Michael Turner, Howard Porter and Kevin Maguire, with a great look at the team throughout the years, as well as a look at the future with a fantastic final page hinting at a future League's roster. Dark Crisis Issue 0 was a great little teaser for what's to come in Dark Crisis, showcasing one of the plot points outside of the Great Darkness threat that is coming for Earth, while giving Wally West a very fitting role as the continued torchbearer of hope in the dark. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Dark Crisis Issue 0 finds some kids marveling at the various Justice League exhibits in the Hall of Justice, learning Starro the Conqueror wasn't quite the first foe the team fought, and the earliest meetings between the team is often debated. Tour guide tells the kids to hurry along to join the rest of their tour, as one knows that her father said the League have saved the world a zillion times. The tour guide informs the kids that the Justice League play an important part in the history of superheroes, but they aren't the first team of heroes. However, the League took a deeper meaning than most teams that came before them, and everyone has a favorite version or roster, but it's not just the roster that makes them who they are, it is what they represent and the relationships between them all and ideals they create. The guide knows that the mere existence shows that people with incredible power can work together, and no matter the challenge, they were the best of them. Taking the kids past the golden statues of the League, the guide knows that they sadly showed that they are far from perfect, and even they can fail, and they sacrifice themselves to hold back the dark, and now they are a world without a Justice League. One kid asked the guide if she thinks that they are really gone, since they come back from the dead all the time and someone will find them and bring back the Justice League. The guide screams that the League are dead, and this hall isn't a museum, it's a mausoleum. The guide transforms into Clayface, whose boss tells him this wasn't part of the plan. Basil knows that the plan stinks, and they thought they could keep it together until the museum closed, but pretending to like the Justice League was killing him, and the kids ask too many questions. He spots a mother box, knowing that the League was so arrogant to leave such powerful weapons like the mother box on display, but he guesses that the threat of them being around was enough to keep people at bay. The Flash suddenly appears, knowing that it's good he decided to stop by for a visit. Clayface says that he tried to walk straight and narrow, but with Batman and the Justice League gone, other people are making big moves, and they offered him a new deal. He smashes Flash in the face with his mud, but he finds the mother box is gone. Nearby, the kids have grabbed the box, escaping the room as Clayface gives chase, while Wally finds himself unable to vibrate out of the mud thanks to it continuing to shift around him. He knows it can't hold his lightning though, blasting himself out of the clay and over to the children, telling Clayface to get away from them. Clayface wonders if this is where he calls in his backup, or is this where the new Justice League shows up to save the day? He takes on the form of multiple League members to get under Wally's skin, but the Flash knows there is no Justice League, and to honor them, he's going to teach Clayface a lesson. He speeds around Clayface, telling him him that when he was a little kid in kindergarten, they used to make clay sculptures, and they would be soft and movable until they put them in the oven. He tells Clayface a quick flash fact, knowing that his speed gives off heat as Clayface begins to harden from the heat, turning into stone. Taking the mother box from the kids, Wally asks if they want the real tour, showing them around the museum until it's time for them to leave. As they leave, one of the boys asks if Flash thinks that there'll ever be a Justice League again. Wally says that years ago, the Flash was his mentor, but then one day there was a crisis and he died, and he had to take over being the Flash, and it was hard stepping out of the shadow, and taking his place on the League was one of the most scariest things he's ever done. He knows that in his head, he was still a Teen Titan and the new kid on the block, but with time, he learned that the Justice League is always growing and changing and embracing the new, just like they embraced him. He knows that the boys' question isn't really if they will find a new league or even when they will have one. The real question is, who will be the new Justice League?